No problem. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with episode 8 of Zed Daily. Today I have a fellow content creator and a fellow Zed Run, a Zed Head. How you doing, BotLady?
Good.
Very well. So I'm very well this morning. Not as much of a sunny day here in Washington, but no complaints. So I wanted to start it off by asking you, how did you find Zed Run?
Well, so some of you may or may not know Chris Moneymaker, the World Series of Poker champion, is my friend. And, I kind of I like to watch what the winners are doing, So basically, he was getting into it and I was taking notice, and I've been kind of watching Zed since December, January, and I really regret not getting into it then because I just waited and watched. But I ended up contacting Doofy and buying my first horse through him, and my second horse was directly through Chris. And after that, I was hooked on the game. It was just so beautiful, and I was like, okay, this is it. This is, how do I figure out everything? And I wanted to learn everything. And when I get into something, I really investigate it deeply as I can, because whatever information or data is available, it's free information. If you're not using it, you're at a huge disadvantage. And especially in something like this, and investing or where there's so much free data available, how they make the API available to everybody, and there's so many cool tools and whatnot. It just got me really into it right away. I just saw so much utility, and in the NFT space, I've been watching the whole NFT space, and I don't get involved in a project unless I think it really has a long-term future. Everything I do, I plan years ahead. So I thought this game had a vision that I could really get into. So that is why I really got into it. Yeah.
Were those first 2 horses that you got Genesis or bred horses?
They were bred.
Okay.
At the time, I really couldn't afford a Genesis, or didn't want to. I thought they were overpriced. I mean, in my mind, I was it was still a risk. It's still a gamble, on the game. And I personally would rather buy in volume than one really good horse that may or may not be good. I'd rather get 20 and maybe one's good, maybe one's not, maybe I can breed a good one. And so my theory was to kind of get in on the floor, and you have better chance to resale, or you're going to lose the minimum if you do lose, because it can't go down that much more than if you bought if I had bought a Z1 when I got into the game, I would have lost 50% of my yeah, and I didn't do that. That's why I'm still here, because I took it kind of slow, baby steps. I didn't just go dive in the deep end 20 feet deep right off the bat. So I kind of put my toe in the water and started learning before I started buying.
Okay.
I want to have a story behind every horse. I want to have a reason that I bought that horse. I didn't want to just buy a horse and like then it's like a 40 odd. By the way, back when I started, you didn't have a limitation on stamina and you could see the odds in the channel in the Discord if you knew how. And so I figured that out day one. And I was going in there and looking at the odds on the horses and like and I had figured that out like right away. So and a lot of people didn't know about that. I don't know why, but that was something that was really cool in the very beginning that um for new players made it really easy to get into the game because like now people are like what is flames, you have to play for a month to even figure that out, like whereas new players back then it was just like here's the odds on that horse, like right away if what the value is, right? It made it easy. So it kind of made it easy to avoid really bad horses, which is good. I don't think I have too many terrible horses. I have a lot of like average, a lot of legendaries, a lot of exclusives. I started out mainly in Buterins because that's all I could like really want to afford at the time.
Okay. So for those first two horses, those were kind of your test horses. So you said you kind of
My first horse was
developed.
actually, let's see, I can't remember if it was a Zabo. It might have been because Doofy's like really into Zabos,
Hmm.
and I think I tried to get a good one from him. Sorry, what were you
You're
saying?
good. So what was your thought process going into that third horse? What did you learn from those first two, and what did you like think like okay, this is gonna be my best shot? So what did you go and find for that third horse?
I okay, so the horse I bought from Chris is Chartreuse. Her name is I Felt You, and she's 40 odds. And I learned that she'll never win a race.
Mhm.
Like no matter what I do, she'll never. So what I learned is to be selective when you're buying because I don't want to buy one donkey ever. I might breed some, but I don't want to. I don't want to buy any. So I was like really afraid after that to get a donkey. So, and I think a lot of new players feel that way. Some don't know the horse doesn't get better still, but when you're buying I think a lot of players come into the game, new players in my experience, they want an unnamed horse. They want to name the horse themselves. The thing that I don't think they're understanding is that the experienced players understand you can go on Haku and get race and breed data. Someone has put hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of and hours into that horse of data for free for you, and you can find one that's really good for the same price as that unnamed horse that you just care about the name. Now, if you really want to name your horse, go get two good horses and breed one and name it. That's what I say to new players. Don't buy the 40 odd horse that's never going to win a race. You're going to hate this game and never want to play again. So for me, it was really, it like clicked with me, like I want good breeding horses. So some of them aren't first place horses. Like the mother of Leroy Jenkins has never won a race. She's a second place horse. And that's okay. Some of my best female breeders are actually like never win a race. They get second place a lot. They get second place a lot. So it's really strange. Like you're like, what is a good horse? Well, it really depends what's your goal. Are you trying to breed or are you trying to race? Are you trying to breed good racers? Do you have a budget for breeding? When you're getting into the game, do you have a budget for racing? How much time do you have to learn all this stuff? Because I think the breeding is probably a lot easier than learning the racing part. The racing part takes a lot more time and experience than the racing. So, and the racing also takes a bigger bankroll because now you're like up against horses that are really good. You don't know that. And you're putting in, $2, $5, $10. Like, if you're never winning, no one can afford to sustain that in anything.
Yeah. So when you go and look on Haku, what is your qualifications of a good horse? How many races? What win percentage? And what? Not even really genotype. Just what win percentage and how many races?
I like to get as much data as I can. So the more races on the horse, the easier it's going to be to tell if it's good or not. Usually, if it has a lot of races and it's been on Haku for more than a day, it's not a good horse. So I usually look at horses because they're picked through by people like me all day. There's, 20 other people doing that. So I look at horses that are under 24 hours old. I look for horses that have between 1 and 20 races. Right now, I'm only buying exclusive Nakamoto females for the most part. I've picked up a few legendary Finny females, a few Zabo females as well, but all under Z9 or less. And right now, the market on Nakamoto's is completely insane. I picked up exclusive females the last 2 weeks for around 0.05 or less, which, if anyone doesn't know, that's like under breed price. And that's crazy. I don't know myself like what's going on, but for me that's where it's at. So I when I got into it 2 months ago could not afford to buy these horses. And now there aren't that many more left. I go on every day. A couple weeks ago there was like 10, 20 good ones. Now I go on, I can maybe see one a day pop up. So they aren't breeding anymore. People aren't making them. There's a shortage, if you would say, of good ones. The floors now maybe 0.07 on them, where it was like 0.04, 0.05 last week. Things change in one day on the Haku. I go every morning and I go every night and I look. I calculate out what the breed price would be on the horse I'm buying. I see if it has good data. I look for 11ths, 12ths, first and seconds on the they don't have to have a flame, but if they are flaming in a class 1 free race, or they're flaming in paid races, that's a good indicator that they're going to be a good breeder. I think flames are a breeding indicator, not a racing indicator. It's a base stat indicator saying they're better than the other horses in that race. And most of the time I'm looking not for good racers, I'm trying to breed good racers. So I'm buying the horses that are flaming in those specific scenarios, class 1 free races and paid races, to breed with for breeding stock. Now, if I can pick up a U horse, that's really lucky, because like I said, I am not the only person on Haku doing this. There are other people. I saw a horse go in 15 seconds the other day. So I have bought a horse in 15 seconds. If you know what you're looking for, it doesn't take you that long to buy the horse. If you have the money and you know what you want, you're going to buy the right horse, right? So there are other people doing this, but you have to know what you're looking for. Like you asked me, flames really don't mean anything in a class 4 or under race. Free. To me, that it just like whatever. That's any horse can do that. If you're flaming in paid races, you're winning paid races, that's huge. If you have a horse like that, don't sell it at the floor, people. It's worth more than that. Like, really, really. Like, keep that horse or list it a little higher, as you probably could get a little more for it. I think a lot of people don't play the game enough to even know what they have sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And because they switched it up on us, right? Like with odds, it was easy to know if you had a winning horse. Now with flames, it's like, I don't know if this horse is really good at getting third place, second place, or first. So it's hard to tell.
Flames, like I said, aren't a racing indicator. They're a breeding indicator. They're a base stat indicator, comparing your horse to the other horses in that race. So if you're up against better horses, it means your base stats for breeding are even higher than so you're going to be able to breed winners out of those horses. Maybe that horse won't be your winner. So your thought process has to be like, how do I want to set up my stable? Kind of have like a plan. It may be wrong, but just try to have a plan. A bad plan is better than no plan.
So why the Z4 exclusive? Why the Z4 exclusive mares?
Well, I'll go all the way down to like for Nakamoto, like a Z8 exclusive, but they just I think they're going to produce really good horses. Like, I have some Z2, Z3 legendary Nakamoto males I'm putting them with. And so, we're just going to get really high Z number elite racers out of them. And I just think it'll produce winning horses and at affordable prices too. Like you can pick one up for around $500, a bred elite right now. So that's like, I don't know. I mean, a few months ago we would be having a different conversation on the numbers here. It would be completely different. It would, a horse like that you would not be able to get at that price. So it's a good time to be a new player.
Why do you think we're in a buyer's market right now?
People have no idea what they're doing. You know, they go on, they buy the 40 odd horse, they hate the game and never play again. So they need to do something about that. Like, if a new player gets a donkey and they paid for it, wouldn't that piss you off? Like, and now you can't really resell it. That's an asset that you took a loss, and like, I wouldn't like that. You know, the average person doesn't have a ton of extra money. You know, they have, maybe they can afford one horse a month, and that's like their free entertainment. You take away the free races, then they have no free entertainment. What's the value in the thing they just bought?
Yeah.
Is there any? I mean, can you tell me, guys? Chat?
It's rough, and especially when there's no Dez token to trade that horse in for, because I'll look at this as like Madden and 2K. So like when you would build an ultimate team on these games, you could go buy a card off a marketplace, right? And spend whatever, however much that card costs. You could quick sell that card for like, let's call it a Dez token. Now you wouldn't get a lot, but you would get something for that. So it would, like, you would still keep people in the ecosystem of the game. I think that's why. It's just that you buy a horse, you race it, it loses, and now you try and go and sell it and nobody's going to buy it. And so you're just like, all right, whatever, I'm going to go to another project. So they need to keep people in the Zed ecosystem.
Right. And so I hated stamina because I used to like be able to play all day, and everybody else could too. And yes, we had huge winners, people making a lot of money, but I mean, it's always been like that in poker, and that's what makes it great, actually, because everyone's like, I want to be that guy. I have a chance to be that guy, you know? Like, I did not like the limitations they put on, because now you're telling people do something else. No, you want them to play your game. That's crazy. That's the opposite of what you want. And what I loved your idea, I actually listened to you with ECS the last one where you were explaining your Des token ideas. Everybody go listen to that. He's not going to explain it again.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, you know, just having a system like that for new players, I think would just be like make the difference for the game. Like they need to implement it as soon as possible. They need to talk to you because you're smarter than me about it for sure. You have great ideas when it comes to that. And I think whatever, if they implemented your system, like it would really save the game. It would be a huge part of saving the game. You know, like I think when I say save the game, I think they will save the game. I think it's just going to take time to figure it out. We're still in beta. Look at all these other projects. I have faith or I wouldn't have 300 horses, right? Look at all these other projects. They can't get off the ground. Like, you know, we're programming. Like, that could last for 10 years. I don't know. At least they have a platform that's running, that's working. We can test. We're still in a beta environment. People need to realize beta is going to have tons of bugs. This is actually one of the least buggy betas I've ever experienced. So I think they have a vision. They need to implement it. They're hiring people to make sure that happens. Looks like they're on track for, you know, Q1 of 2022. They're kind of taking it slow right now. They don't want to grow the community too much, because if they have a ton of new people come in and they aren't having a good first user experience, that will be bad, right? So we don't want to push a ton of new users into the system with advertising until we're ready to kind of onboard them and keep them in the game, right? So it's like we're in a weird kind of like spot right now in the community, and everyone just be patient, show some grace. You know, these people love the game, we love the game. Everyone that complains is because you love the game. You know what, let's just try to have fun in the meantime. Be appreciative, realize you have a lot of privilege sitting here in your house from home, complaining from your computer on your internet with your air conditioning or your heating and your waffle or your coffee. Like, come on, be productive. Be, you know, do something that helps the community. Bring new, you know, some good energy in. Like, complaining does absolutely nothing to help the team or the community whatsoever. Like, yes, we need feedback, but be constructive. Bring ideas. Bring things that like will help build up what we're doing, not tear it down. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So how do you get from 3 to 300 horses? Because that's quite a jump.
I mean, like, I just budget myself. I send myself some money every month, and I I don't know, like I bought some Bitcoin and like I just keep like buying some ETH and like some horses and I don't know, just breeding them a lot, breeding,
So would you
more
say you
breeding.
have mostly bred or Genesis horses?
I have I don't have that many Genesis. I have a little over 20 Genesis horses. They're all Buterin. Um, I bought them all like maybe a month ago when the floor went down, and then I stopped and I started buying Nakamoto's. I stopped buying Genesis. I was gonna buy a Finny Genesis. It was on the market for 0.47. It was beautiful Caribbean green. I came back the next morning and it was some flipper had bought it and put it back up for like zero point 0.7 and couldn't afford it anymore. I was so annoyed. It was going to be my first Finny Genesis male. I kind of put myself on a budget, you know. I don't want to overbuy anything so I can resell it if I need to. And so I didn't end up buying it. I was kind of annoyed like that the person that bought it didn't really want the horse, you know.
Mm. He was a flipper.
Yeah, so well, you know, can you blame him? It was a really good horse. So
Mm.
anyway, um I know there's other people doing what I'm doing because I see it all day long. I see it all day long, you know, them raising the floor up. So I've just been really focused in. I bought a bunch of legendary Nakamoto's in October. I bought two super coats, one a Z2 named Boba Fett, who is an Sir Aquamarine super coat, which means two Z1s of the same color created him. Super rare. I think he is the only like Z2 colored super coat, like his like 5,000. And then I picked up like that's his number is like 5,000. And then I picked up another one named Super, that's her name. And she's actually a Jack horse. I did not know that when I bought it, but she came out of his stable and I picked her up and she is a Z3 legendary super coat as well. So I picked up two legendary Nakamoto super coats, which like is crazy. I mean, I have like they're so rare. They're so rare, you guys. So I just bred a horse between them, and that horse is like a rare Z5 Philly Elite. She's a royal blue. That's a rare coat.
Okay.
I'm super excited about that. So I'm starting to breed like that's like where I'm putting my effort right now because I believe in the long term for my stable breeding these Buterins Genesis is not going to bring me the most value as much as like so this month actually my plan was I bred all of my Zabo females with all of my Z10 finnies, Z10 legendary finnies because I bought 42 horses from Jack. I don't know if you know that in a deal.
Damn.
Half of them were like Z10 Finny, like legendary males. So I bred most of them with my Zabo females and my Finny females. So I have a bunch of like Zabo, Finny, like weird science experiments. Some of them have like Nakamoto blood. I'm just trying to breed as high as E level horses as I can. I actually won a horse yesterday against a Dan Chan blood tool horse and a Jack horse. So I mean, like, you know, I'm over here like just a girl on a dream, trying to compete with the big boys, and you know, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but listen, I have a bad plan, but it's still a bad plan, right? So
Hey, taking
bad
out
plans
Dan
can
Chan.
still get lucky.
Yeah. Taking out.
On stream and Jack, I won a horse named Candy Jack. He sent me a legendary Z15 female. So you guys, you know, if you don't take risks, you can't win, right? So I mean, you gotta like be able to. I actually have a horse right now I didn't even think would win, Ace on the River, who's like I don't even have to race her anymore and I'll probably get money from the zombie tournament. She had a great run yesterday. So I think that it's slow sometimes. Like this game is kind of slow. You can only breed once a month. You can only race once a day, but it's good for people that are patient. Poker's a patient game too. So you kind of have to have a long vision of like what you're doing. Don't just jump head first in. If you're new to the community, if you're new to the community, take 2 weeks and watch some videos. There's some great community members like Evergreen here putting out content, XYZ, MJ, the Zed News Network. Go watch everything for 2 weeks, then go buy a horse or get with me and I will help you get what you need. Because like seriously, I don't want new people coming in and buying the donkey and just hating the game. Like it's just, you know, you're spending your hard-earned money on something. I want you to love your horse, like, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever that means for that person. Like, I want them to stay. I want them to be my friend. I don't want them to like hate this game and like never want to play it again. You know, I want them to like be come in and be like, oh, they care about me here, you know?
Yeah. Not financial advice, but come in, do your research. Don't just
Never,
go and buy
never
a
financial advice.
exactly. Don't just go and buy a horse off the floor because it's the cheapest one because
Or you want to
honestly,
name it.
exactly. It's not going to be the best horse and there's some big boys that are playing this game with real money. So, if you try and come in with like $100 and come and compete with the best of the best, it's you're not going to have the best odds with that kind of horse. So do your research, come up with your own theories of whatever you think is going to be your best horse and take your shot from there. But just recognize that there's some people with some real money in this game, like real money.
Is my stable profitable? No. But I mean, like, I basically bought all of my assets to hold. So, you know, I'm slowly starting to sell some. I actually sold a Z6 Nakamoto Elite male yesterday for 0.99 unnamed, which I thought was a great deal for me. It actually was profitable for me. So, I mean, overall, is my stable profitable right now? Absolutely not. Did I take a huge loss because I bought a huge Z1? Absolutely not. So I'm somewhere like in the middle. But my goal is long term. So I'm giving away horses. I'm trying to give away one horse a week to new, like I've given away 5 horses to people that didn't have a horse to get them into the, you know, I'm like, my goal is every week to get a new player in the game. And, you know, I have maybe 1,000 new followers just this week interested in Zed.
Wow.
I have, yeah. So it's like my Twitter's going completely insane. I have 3,000 alerts a day about it. Everyone's excited. So I don't want to give people the wrong information. Like if you're watching this, take it slow. Okay, I know you're excited. Take it slow. Like, you know, I don't want you to buy a horse you hate. So like be careful just because you want to name your horse, like realize there's a lot of horses that will just never get better. So you're going to name that horse something you love and then you're going to hate the thing. Like, I'm so scared for them.
Yeah.
Like like I care about you guys, you know? I want you to have a good experience. Like
It's an amazing rush for about a good hour. You name the horse, you look at it, you throw it in a Griffey. If you don't win that Griffey, it's not fun anymore. It's really
yeah,
not.
exactly. Winning is fun. That's why I try to tell people like, yeah, it's fun having a horse you like the way it looks. Who cares? Like I have pocket aces and the board is like some terrible thing. I'm gonna fold my aces. Don't be afraid to like say, you know, this horse isn't great, sell it and buy a different horse. Like it's okay. It's okay.
So,
It's like
what do you want to see as a stable with 300 horses? Are you able to race all of these horses? And do you
no.
want to see like an Axie Infinity type thing to where other people can
Yes.
come on and race your horses?
Yes. Yes. I absolutely do not have enough time to do it all myself. I just try to like figure out what are the best 10, 20 horses I have in each stable because I have two and race those. So, you know, I have friends that help me like look at my stable, like what do you think which one's the best? I tested out when the free races came around. I have a spreadsheet and I literally sat there entering in what distance do they like, what's their win percent, have they won a race yet? And I actually went on the free races and I made sure every single horse won a race. I raced them until everyone had to win a race. I was like, you're winning a freaking race. You're gonna win this race. And so like it was so funny because like I asked my husband, he's sitting over there, he's like, oh my God. So it was like I had one horse, it was like 30 races, it got like second place like 12 times. I was so angry. I was like, you're gonna win a race because you don't get a win percent until they do. And so basically I out of that stable, which is my male stable, during that free week, I was able to get 80 to 90% of the males with a win rate. And I was really happy with that. Like, that's pretty good. When I first started, I had horses that could never win a race ever, like, no matter what you did. So, I mean, yeah, free races are free races, but it did give me a lot of data on my stable. It gave me more information on who I wanted to breed with who. And overall, I love the free races. I personally would love to see free race weekends with no stamina. So like just open it up. Like Friday through Sunday, no stamina, like all free races and just like let the floodgates open because I want the data on my horses. Like I can't get enough data. Like I have I don't have enough time to click that much.
Mm.
And I get race anxiety. I don't get the gait I want. Like I start sweating. I get stressed out. Like I can't handle it. I'm like, what the heck? I do not like that. So I'm like, I need the data, but it's like hard for me to get it. So please make it easier for a big stable. Like it's hard to like get that information because I don't have the time to with the way the system is. So I'd love to see like Friday through Sunday on the tournament weeks, instead of it being 2 weeks long, just make it a weekend, get rid of stamina, like tons of free races, and I think we could have like a million races. I'd be able to get data on all the horses I have. My biggest problem is lack of data, really, to be honest.
Right, because you don't want to burn that money trying to figure out where that horse is good at. It was nice that those were free races. We could figure out, oh, okay, our horse has a good chance at being good at this distance. Now, it doesn't mean that that's going to correlate to paid races, but you know that, oh, okay, this horse looks like a marathon horse. I'm going to plug him into longer distance races in paid.
Yeah, and so I have a whole spreadsheet where I manually entered in what distance they like. So I'm not putting, I didn't want, my biggest fear was to fuck their data up. What I mean by that, when I go to resell my horse, I don't want it to have two. I saw this yesterday. I almost cried. I bought the horse anyway because it's a good horse, but the person destroyed it. It is a 2200 horse, and the person raced it in 200, 1400 free races. And that horse will never look good on paper, but it's going to be a great breeder. But literally, I was so sad because they just didn't care at all, and so like I got a deal on the thing because of it. But my fear with the free races was that I have so many horses I wouldn't remember which one they're good at, because I only remember so many things at once. So I was like, okay, so I was like marking off which ones I wanted to race and what they're good at. Well, I could only do 100 horses a week. I could only get maybe 5 or 10 races on each of those. So I have 300. Like I need apparently a month of free races to get the data I need. And that's just the base data. That's not even like I would like 100 free races on each horse. That's going to take me a year, apparently, Zed. Can we do something about that? What's a big stable supposed to do? I don't have the time to sit all day and all night entering races with my spreadsheet. Like, I might go crazy. So, yeah, there needs to be something where it makes racing easier and more fun for everyone, not just new stables, but also like the bigger stables that want data. How are we supposed to breed when we don't have the information on the horses we're making? And, if someone like me wants to make 100 horses this month, I could. But what am I supposed to do with them? Just sell them all you? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Is that what Zed wants me to do?
Right.
Like, it's you tell me, Zed, it's your game. Like, how, so yeah, as for me, I'm not really sure exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'd like to have a plan that works for everybody, the big stables and the smaller stables, because the big stables can help the new players, but we need information too on our stable so we can make better horses, right?
Right. Yeah, and the bigger stables are going to have the more numbers and they're going to do the more tests. So once they figure out like, oh, maybe a Z4 exclusive and a Z10
It's not cheap
make
to
the best.
test.
Yeah.
Yeah, help us out a little here.
Yeah.
You're talking like, hey, here's $400, right? Like, or whatever
Mhm.
that cost you. So
Let the bigger stables kind of go out, find the landmines, and then all the smaller guys can follow behind them so they don't get blown up. So you're doing raffles. Do you want to go into that a little bit?
sure. Thank you for asking. So I've been doing raffles on my stream for years. And it's always been for my Twitch subs. So I decided to like scale it into NFT world. I have a friend that's an artist, and I was like, hey, how do you set all this up? And he kind of gave me like some help, a little help getting it started. And I kind of took off from there. Like, I've been making gifts myself for my stream for a while now. So like making the art itself came kind of naturally. I have fun with it. I do it all myself. And then that part was just like really, honestly, I don't want to say easy, because I don't think it'd be easy for a new person to just go make a GIF, but for me it was. And probably because I've been doing it for so long. And then I just, I had to write out all that stuff. Like, about the raffles. You know, the one we have right now is for my very dear friend Trisha. She has stage 4 cancer. She's at in-home hospice care with nurses and medicine. They're very expensive. I decided I wanted to do something for her. It's her birthday tomorrow. So I put together a 4-pack. One, the male is a super coat, fiery rose. They're all 4 the same color. They're all exclusive. There are 3 females that come with him. And so I'm calling it a starter pack. So if you buy this, you get for $9.99, you can get a ticket. You could get 4 horses for $9.99. So the whole idea, and like everyone that's won one, it was like their first horse. So I was like, well, I got to do something that is like, you know, for new people. What would I want if I was a new stable? I know what the hell I'm doing. So I put together this idea, like, and I might do more like this, where it's 1 male and 3 females, all the same colors, to give the person a chance to breed super coats every month if they want to. And if you don't know, they have to be exactly the same color to do that. So I'm giving them that chance already, and they're all exclusives, which mean they will breed all elites, which is really good for them. So there was a lot of thought put into like the horses themselves. The male horse is named the Cajun Stud, and her name is Cajun Lady. And the charity raffle is for her. I'm donating 100% of the funds to her directly, and I'm selling 100 tickets max. So I think we sold over 10 overnight. So if you guys want some, they're still available. And then I will be doing 1 free raffle a week. So I'm going to give 1 free horse away every single week. I have one that just sold out. I gave away 100 free tickets. Like, it takes me like a couple hours to put together the actual giveaway. I have to manually go in, verify each owner. It's a lot of time. So instead of live streaming, I'm doing this work on the back end. And then on YouTube, I'm uploading like the winners. I'm making content, like recorded content, videos. If I'm live, I will draw them while I'm live. I have a 2-hour stream from last Friday I did, where I gave away merch, I gave away a horse, and I did all of it live. So you can see I have a very long history of doing it live. I've given away over $35,000 in 3 years, and I plan to keep doing it. So what I would like to say, if you want to win a horse, stick to my Twitter. That's where I put everything. Put your alerts on. And I'm going to give 1 free horse away every week, but you're going to have to follow the directions. People that don't follow directions won't get the free ticket. So please read the tweet. Okay. And then, you know, I love people that read. I love you, because I spend a long time writing things out because I want to give you information. So read everything I put out there. I put a lot of thought into it. And then on top of it, I'm going to do some discount raffles. So like $1 for the ticket. And then I may start doing some higher end raffles too for some more expensive horses. But I think that'll be like mixed in maybe once a month. Like, that's not going to be the main thing I'm doing, is really trying to get new people into the community.
Okay. So if someone wanted to go buy one of the Supercoat package raffle tickets, where would they go and do that at?
On OpenSea.
Okay.
And it's an NFT.
What's the account?
It's opencea.io/collection/BotLady.
Awesome. And you said it was $10 for 1 ticket?
It was $9.99 when I listed. It's $9.97 right now. It's 0.0021 ETH. It looks like there's 85 left.
Awesome. So guys, if you want a super coat, that's awesome, because you're giving people the chance to go and breed a bunch of super coats. I mean, really continuously. So elite
super coats. So, and the father is a super coat already, just so you know. The male, and it's very hard to get a super coat. I bred 3 in a row in October, which is completely insane. I bred a total of 7 in October. I gave away a super coat this month, and my first raffle was for a super coat. I will probably do more. I have like so many more super coats. I don't even know, 30 or 40 in the stable right now. So my goal is not just to breed super coats, it's to breed good super coats. Like, I don't, like, so when I go to buy horses, you have to be really thoughtful. Like, that's kind of what I want to teach the new people is, how do you add value? So, by buying this $9.99 ticket, you could get 4 horses, one male, 3 females, and one of the females is ready to breed right now. The male is ready to breed right now. So if they wanted to, they could. And I think the cover on the male is 100. He's a legend. No, he's an exclusive Buterin. So it's like one of the lower breed costs. So for a starting stable, it's going to be the cheapest way to like start your stable out. And I'm probably going to do more starter packs like this in the future where all the females are the same color as the male to kind of just give people like make it easy. I like easy. So if I'm thinking like on my end, what can I do to make it better, for the new people? And they're all raced lightly. They all have like 20 or less races. You can go see the data on the horses. The male is probably the worst of the 4. The 3 females look like they're all right. They could be good racers. The whole point is to breed good racers. Think about it like that, like if you even get 1 or 2 that's like gonna win a little out of those 4, you're doing good.
Right. And it doesn't have to be a good racer. I mean, you could just sell super coats unraced every month for whatever. And once the market starts to respect the super coats, then you'll be in the profit. But I wanted to ask you why you seem a little big on super coats. So why super coats and what do you want to see as their future utility?
So why super coats? Because they're super rare. I mean, there's data on this. There's never been a honeydew born. There's like one big old dipper ruby, and out of 150,000 horses, if you have something rare, people are gonna want it. If they ever add an animation, like to it whatsoever, if it shines, glitters, a rainbow, whatever comes out of that horse on the track itself, if they ever add like a skin to it, it will be worth more money. And it's one of the most undervalued things because people don't understand how it works. When I first joined the game, it took me a month to even understand what a super coat was. I was like, what, is it a rare coat? No, it does not have anything to do with the color of the coat. And a Genesis cannot be a super coat. And everyone is so focused on Genesis, they forget, well, if you breed 2 horses of the same color together, you can get a super coat, but it's not a guarantee. It is a rare drop. So what it means is you have 2 parents exactly the same color. Well, there's, I don't know how many different colors, a lot. So it is kind of hard to do. So you have to have intention there from the breeder that they're trying for this. And then they get the rare spawn. I don't know if it's 1 in 10, 1 in 100. I'm really not sure at this point. It seems like it's a coin flip to me, but I don't know. So let's say you get the super coat. Now you have, it says SC or super next to the name. You probably don't have any in your stable if you didn't know what it was, because I didn't until I started looking for them and trying to breed them. So it has nothing to do with the color itself. It is literally has to come from 2 parents, identical color, rare spawn called a super coat. And we don't know right now. It might make them run faster. It might not. It might add stats or data to it. We don't understand what the programmers did. There's some theory about that. I don't know. So I hope that they didn't program it for no reason. We're still in beta. Who knows when we go out of beta if there will be some kind of animation. So for me, it's like, why not try to add value to the stable if you can? Now, I'm not going to do breeds that don't make economical sense, but if you can do both, why not? Why not try to do both? That's my thought process behind it.
Right. And even beyond just the color, you never know. They might have like an all super coat tournament in the future. And then
sure,
everybody's going to be trying to breed super coats. The price of the super coats is going to go insane at that time. So we never know what they could do with the super coats in the future.
It's an unknown and untalked about and really undiscovered utility that could potentially have future value that's unknown. I like that. Like, I played Magic and foil cards were ridiculous. So I don't want to get like cornered out of the supermarket if they do add something and now like I didn't think about it and I had the time to plan for it and I didn't try.
Are you breeding? Are you breeding right now with the breeding minimums?
Yeah.
Do you feel that they're too high in the Nakamoto bloodline, or are you just fine with that?
I think they're perfect. Honestly, I think they're too high for every other bloodline. But I'm kind of glad they are because we have way too many bad horses in the market. So it makes people think like, hey, do I really want to do this? And maybe they aren't going to make as many bad horses because of it. So if anything, raise the price. Oh, they're going to hate me. Oh, they're gonna hate me. Oh,
But less
no.
supply coming onto the market at that point, right?
I mean, it makes the horses that we have worth more, and we really don't want them to be worth less, do we?
No.
Yeah. So I don't think they can't really lower it. I really think that's dangerous. So keeping it where it's at and just figuring out how to make the game better is probably the best bet. And being patient with that. You know, wait till January and let's see what they do when they take this game out of beta. We're in beta. Patience is really important in beta. So go with the flow. They're going to change things, be patient. Don't have like crazy expectations of things that change overnight. They probably won't. Whenever they do new stuff, it's cool. Like, I can't, like, this Netflix thing is huge, you guys. I mean, we're not even talking, this Netflix thing is huge. Like, I'm kind of scared. Like, I don't think we're ready for that many new people. So, I mean, we'll see how it goes. Like, hold on. I feel like we're driving the speedboat with the blindfold on.
So what do you think we're going to see from that race? Do you think Netflix comes out and they say, "Hey, we want to see these horses in this race," or do you think it's just a high buy-in and
I have no idea.
yeah, me
I'm
neither.
I'm just here for the show. I think it'll bring in new players. That's the whole goal, and that's what I'm scared of because like, are we ready for new players? Are we ready to scale? Like, that's such a scary question. We need a really good onboarding process. The company itself isn't doing it very well. The community needs to step up. I see a lot of people out there complaining that the developers need to make the game better. I'm going to challenge you right now. If you're listening and you're a community member, you need to make it better. Don't complain. Help onboard the new people too. Write up blogs that help them. Do stuff that helps them. Create things that help them because we can do that. We don't have to wait around for the company to do it for us. If you care about the game and you're invested in the game and you have horses in the game and you want to see the new people happy, help do that. Like, we have the power to do that. Look at what Evergreen has done with this show. Period. It has helped. So I'm going to continue to support and watch you and other content creators because that's really, I think, where it's at.
Yeah, we're all going to push the game further. I mean, everybody's playing their role. Everybody's doing and trying not to step on each other's toes, and then we'll all get to the destination where we're trying to go.
I mean, here, we're going to step on each other's toes. We're all competition. You got to treat your competition with respect. You got to treat your competition good because at the end of the day, it's like we all have the same goal. So it's like, yes, are we competition on the track? Yeah, but leave it there. It's like poker players too. You play your hand. There's no friends on the table, but like, leave it on the track. Leave the beef on the track. Let the horse speak for itself. Like, don't let that run spill over into the community.
Say
the owners club.
What?
There's a reason it's called the owners club.
The owners club.
Yeah. It's reserved. So
yeah.
if you're coming into Zed today, how much would you feel comfortable spending? And then with that budget, whatever you feel comfortable with, what would you go get with the current market at what it's at right now?
I have no idea. Me or somebody else? I mean,
so say you find Zed today.
Who? Who?
You.
Just me. Okay,
yeah.
me.
Like, you're just like you found Zed Run, right? Like,
yeah,
let's just say you found it. And how much would you feel comfortable spending? And then what would you go get with that budget? You do all your research. You know all about Zed Run. You know the bloodlines. Okay, you're like, all right, I have X amount of budget. Now I'm going to go get what?
Give me a number.
Let's go. See, I say half an ETH, but I feel like that's still a lot. So let's say, fuck it, half an ETH. Let's say you have half an ETH. What are you going to go get?
I get a legendary Nakamoto and some exclusive Nakamoto females. Even if you can't breed them or afford to.
Would you buy them raced?
Yeah, because unraced, I think they're not enough data, and they're gonna be more expensive unraced. Yeah, I would get. But here's the thing: Go watch MJ. Go watch, people that are helping you with the data so you understand how to look at it, how to figure out if the horse is good or not. You have to look at the race times, you have to look at the speeds, you have to look at the fire, you have to look at, some of them even have odds still, which is crazy, but if they raced back when there were odds, that's still up on Haku. There's maybe 10 different tools you could bring up and analyze the horses. I don't want to overwhelm you, but it's there if you want it. So basically, take the time to figure out what you're looking for in the first place. So when you see it, you know what you have confidence in your buy. For me personally, I have to have a reason to buy every horse. That way, when I go to sell it, I can explain to the person why they should buy it. There should be a story. If you don't have that, don't get it. If you're not sure, don't get it. Like, wait till something pops up that really speaks to you. That's like I see on the floor sitting the same 30 horses every day, and when a new one comes, it's very apparent to me. So it's like, probably if you go look at the floor right now, if anything's missing there more than one day, I have actually seen some people relisting the same horse every hour on the hour, every day, all day till it sells, so that it's up there less than an hour.
I didn't think of that.
Oh, I've seen it. I can tell you the names of them. They're all donkeys, but these people they figured out that people like me don't look at horses older than a day. So they keep relisting it, trying to trick people like, hey, buy my horse. Like, I really want to sell it. Well, lower the price then. I don't know what to tell you. Don't just keep relisting it every hour. So yeah, watch the market before you just jump in. That's what I would say. Figure out what you want before you buy it, because then you may not be able to resell the horse. So
my last two questions for you. Number one, how do you feel about the current class system?
Oh, what a loaded question, Evergreen. This is probably even more of a debatable topic than breeding, isn't it?
Let's get into it.
Well, it could be better. I would debate that with a U-shaped horse, having a class system really is silly, because you have a horse with a 28% win rate in class 5, literally just taking money. And you're like, well, it only wins 20% of the time. Well, you only need to win 10% of the time to be profitable. So I personally believe they should put the horses either based on win rate in classes, based on win rate, or like get rid of the point system completely and go to no classes. But right now the monsters can race all day. The stamina isn't affecting them. So maybe instead of it being per race, it's per win. You lose stamina, and get rid of the classes altogether completely, because limiting the amount of races people are doing in the volume isn't good for Zed or the community whatsoever. And it's limiting the data. It's limiting how much time people are playing on it. And I would like to be able to just queue in the distance I want to run. I would queue in all 300 horses. I'm sure other big stables would do the same thing, and be able to walk away and come watch them later in the day. And I would be getting a ton more data. The volume alone, let's say, we have 150,000 horses. I don't know how many are racing every day, but let's just say we increase that by 1,000%. I mean, the amount of data you're getting and just the amount of horses in the race, you aren't going to be up against the top 1% every time. You will have a chance to win. It'll make it more fun for the new players. Queuing into a random match, I don't like stack knockas. It's like bum hunting to me, which in poker they don't let you do, which is try to sit down with a player that's worse than you to take their money. Well, I think that Zed needs to do something about that to protect people. We should be queuing into a random race where it's random horses, you're not selecting the gate. I think that's a huge problem. They need to fix that immediately. That might be the biggest problem of all, because I know that people target races they can win. Well, of course they do. Zed lets us. It's their fault, not the player. So they need to fix it. They need to protect the new players from players that are targeting them because of the way it's set up. So in the long run, it's not sustainable, period. The volume needs to be increased. When I first started playing, you could sit around and play all day, and people love that. People had a bankroll to even like, they didn't care if they didn't win every race, but they had a bankroll to race. And now people just get so frustrated with the stamina system, they don't want to race at all. So uh stamina was intended to fix it, and now they just have two broken systems because the stamina is only making the worst horses worse, and it's really not affecting the good horses enough. And the class system doesn't work at all because of the U-shaped horses with 20% win rate in class 5. And a lot of horses are stuck in class 1, 2, or 3 that could never win a race in that class. They can't declass like a U-shaped horse, So their owners literally can't race them. They're just stuck sitting there waiting for who knows what. I don't know what they're waiting for. If they don't have a U-shaped horse, I don't know what they're waiting for, because literally those are the only horses that can make money right now. And so Zed needs to do something where all horses have a chance to win a race every day. If they randomized it better, I think that could happen. And even like the worst donkey could have a good day.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like to see.
I'll do a little bit of devil's advocate.
Sure.
Advocate
I love
to that. I like stack knacks for horses that are in my class because it'll show me like, okay, at this distance, Phantom Pacer is really good at 1,800 meters. Has pulled like way better speed than my horse at this distance. But I agree with you on like bum hunting and going down class. Like come on, like why are we going down to class 5 to beat up on all the new guys?
There is no classes. It's been happening since day 1.
Right. I think, yeah, but I agree with you that we should have no classes, but I don't like how, especially if you have like a synthetic U, I mean, it's part of the game, so people are going to do it. But I mean, if you're a new guy coming in and then you got like one of the best horses in the game in class 5, it's kind of like, what are we doing here? If I can't compete in class 5, I'm definitely not going to be able to compete in class 1.
Yeah.
But I do like the stack knacks because it does have to be like somewhat of a game of skill and research and strategy. So I do like that, but I also do like the queuing up system because as a content creator, like it's probably hard. It is hard to stream Zed Run because you have to wait for the gate to fill. You got to do all this stuff. So if
you don't know. When I first started, you had to wait 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I had to plan my race when I first started streaming Zed, you guys. 4 hours before I was going to go live, I would get in my streams. I would get in my races to show you guys a live race. I had to plan it, and it not only but I would sit there and have to every 20 minutes I'd have to get in, so they would be spaced out, like for the stream, because you don't want them like right, back to back. So you'd have to sit there it was a lot. So honestly, no, it's not hard anymore. Like we take it for granted. It's really not that bad. So, I can waste 5 minutes easily. So
except in class 1. In class 1, the volume is terrible.
Well, I really don't have any class 1 horses, so that's not a problem for me.
Yeah. It's bad up here. It's bad.
Most of my horses are like class 3, class 4. Yeah, I like class 3 and 4. Like it's fun, I win races and I can declass if I need to. I really try to buy only U-shaped horses. Like I really look for them, and I'll wait if there's nothing. Like I don't just buy anything,
So when we say U-shape, do you mean like the synthetic U to where that this horse can drop at this distance and it can win at this distance instead of just a natural U to where it's going to do whatever it wants at whatever distance?
I don't have that many good mid-distance horses. Maybe 5. And the reason is they're so unpredictable. Like they just do whatever they want, and I hate it. They're really good horses. They're strong horses, but it's brutal on your wallet, like it's like they just do whatever they want. Like, okay. Yeah, I don't like that. I would much rather have a horse that's like predictable. Yeah,
because you can control it. I mean, especially with the class system, if I know like, okay, get a big win in this race, get myself back down to class 4, and I'll just stay here, keep running that same pattern. I mean, it's just,
if you like money.
Yeah, it's cake at that time. And if somebody's coming into the game, like me when I came into the game, I have a U-shaped horse, and I'm like, I want to go to class one, so I take
Yeah.
my I take my horse to class one, and then I realized like, oh, arbitrage isn't in class
Yeah.
one. This guy's not.
Ready, set, boom.
Oh, yeah. You're like none
I
of
saw
these
him
guys
win
want
a
to be in
race
class
last.
one.
He was in $100 race last night. I watched it live, and like that's why that horse was in the finals. Like it was 10 lengths ahead of everybody else in class one in $100 race. So yeah, I mean, do I want to be in class one? Yeah, I want a class one horse. Can I afford a class one horse that can win in class one? Not yet.
You got to buy a UUU.
Maybe I can breed one.
Step
No.
up, step up to the plate, buy the UUU, and just take a
I'm
swing.
hoping. I'm hoping like I can breed one. You never know. I could get lucky.
So when you breed, you said you go and look at the ancestry. Are you using like Zed Run tools to go and do that research? What websites are you using?
I used Zed Run tools a ton when I first started, but I don't anymore. I really just I like know all my horses pretty well, and some of them have breeding partners already. I know that sounds weird, but like I just know what like which ones go with which ones, and I kind of try to intentionally like. I mean, I spend hours like just looking at them, so I know like, okay, this one's gonna be ready in 12 days, and this one's gonna be ready in 17. And I've actually had a breeds lined up where it's like I had 1 minute where their timers were like, I was like, is it gonna go off? Like when one was ending and one was like beginning,
Oh, gotcha.
and it worked. And I was like, oh my god, like clicking. I was like, oh, it's like it worked. I was like, oh my god. But yeah, so I will actually like wait until a certain pair like lines up, and then I also try to like budget for that. So I like, okay, I need this much this month to do that, and so then I'm like, okay, and then how much do I have to have for like how much am I going to sell for buying new horses too, because the market's like literally every day it's like you just don't know what it's going to do. So it's a lot of work just to watch it. And then so how are you going to like do all that and race? This is my hobby. Did I mention that?
Might become a full-time job here soon with
I mean, we'll
300
see.
horses.
Possible. I mean, I'd like to sell some, so give some away.
I think once they implement like an Axie Infinity type thing, I think you'll be just printing. You'll just have all your horses. We'll just see BotLady on the track every day, and hopefully you're printing. But what other NFT projects are you interested in right now?
I have some other ones. I mean, I don't want to talk about them because none of them are really running yet. Like I look at all the different games. There's some games that are really interesting to me. There's some art projects that are really interesting to me. But as far as utility goes, this is it. I'm pretty loyal. I don't have time. I have limited time. I have three little kids, a family. I stream full time, a full time content creator for 3 years, guys. Like, not a lot of downtime. So I'm not really trying to get a side project. You know what I'm saying?
And then you stumbled into Zed. You're like, God damn it, got another one.
I mean, I'd rather buy another Zed horse than get into a different project because I don't want to educate myself on something else. It takes a ton of time. So I kind of just listen. I wish I'd gotten to Zed sooner. It took me 6 months. It was 3 months too long, and it's like to me. I looked at all the NFT projects before I bought into this one. I made sure this is the one that I thought had the longevity that was going to be here in a couple years from now. They already have the platform running. They already have the investment. They already are hiring the management team. Their white paper is good. The game is beautiful. It looks so good on Twitch. I see the vision. I'm there. Like I don't. There is no other project.
At least not on the caliber of Zed, right? Because I mean,
Not even close.
give it a few years, we're all like the Mark Cubans of digital horse racing. We all have our own business. We run
He is an investor in Zed, by the way.
yeah, and in Matic.
Yeah.
I think he owns Matic or something
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
So
I don't think he'll let it fail. That's kind of, hey, Mark, I'm holding you accountable. That was a big part for me, too. Like, because I know he doesn't like to lose. So, you know, I want to be on the winning team, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
especially if you have the Genesis horses, I think the factory, they said it like, if you just want to own the stock, actually, I don't know if it was the factory, but someone said like, if you just want to own the stock of Zed Run, then a Genesis horse is just the stock.
Right. It's like the blue chip of this of yeah, basically. And I think a Nakamoto is probably gonna maybe a Zabo too, because there's Zabos are weird. Like there's as many Zabos as Nakamotos.
Mm-hmm.
People don't know that. Shh. I think Nakamotos might run faster than Zabos. Don't be mad, but I think Zabos are good breeders. I really think they make good breeders. So I think the Zabo Nakamoto Finnies I'm putting out are gonna be monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. Really, main difference just might be the head bob. Like, Nakamoto's go left or right, Zabos go what, up and down or something
Zabos
like
have
that?
the big like booty shake too. Did you
Okay.
notice that? What
Uh-uh.
is that? It's
Uh-uh.
like I swear they don't run straight. Like they like
Do
you
the
gotta look at that
little
next time.
twerking.
I think the Zabos twerk.
Do you got any questions for me?
I mean, what's your main thing? Like is it content creation? I don't know much about your history, your background. What got you into it?
What got me into Zed Run?
Yeah, the whole content creation too part.
So yeah, I mean, really NFTs. Like, if you go back, I started my YouTube channel around Top Shot, just opening Top Shot packs. I was super intrigued by just digital assets and ownership, and then I found Zed Run, and then it just takes that to the next level because Top Shot, they're all within their own marketplace, and there's really like no utility. But then when you find a Zed Run horse, you're like, oh, I can make a bunch of money racing this horse, breeding this horse. If I buy a male, I can get passive income by studying him. So like my whole thing is passive income. I'm trying to get financial freedom. So I was like, let me document this journey. I'll do it on YouTube. And I mean, just I don't know. I was always like nervous or scared. I would always like had a fear of like my friends judging me or something like that. So I was just like, I don't know. Eventually you get over it, and I was like, I just want to, this is what I want to do. I don't care if someone judges me or laughs at me or whatever. So started making content, started documenting Top Shot, found Zed Run, bought Diamonds, my first
Yeah,
open
what a
sea.
good horse.
Yeah. Yeah. So fucking first horse, like top 5 Z2.
Yeah.
And it's just a funny story. Like, I have arbitrage. I get an offer on my horse the next day. It's like for 3 Ethereum. I'm like, I bought this for 1.1 yesterday.
I looked at it. I looked at the history before we got together. I was like, I want to see how much you paid for this horse. So I actually looked because I was like, this is a really good. What are you doing over here? You know, before we talk. So yeah, tell me about the story about this horse.
Yeah.
You guys go look it up. Diamodz.
Yep, Diamonds with a Z.
Check him out. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
So yeah, I was just looking. I mean, I found Zed Run. I found Al Smizzle. I went on Zed Run and I was doing my research. And when you hit the learn page, this is what like stuck out to me the most. Is the first thing you see is Nakamoto. It says most rare, best bloodline, most pure, like best at maybe breeding. So I was like, okay, I'm definitely going for a Nakamoto. Let me go see what type of Nakamoto. I found like, okay, Z1 Genesises are like the main staple, best asset in this game. Okay, how do you make a Z2? Oh, you can only make a Z2 by 2 Z1s. So I was like, all right, I want to buy an unnamed, unraced horse and just kind of take my shot. So I bought Diamonds, raced him. It was amazing. I was
Lucky.
gonna buy Sluzz Bucket, but I didn't like the name.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I bought some really horrible named horses that are some of my best runners at a discount because the person messed up the name so bad. Yeah. Like, that's gonna be my breeder. God, they're so bad.
Do you want to see them or do you want to see Zed allow players to change the name?
No,
never.
So
if you got like Jew Boy, because I think Upper Moon Racing has Jew Boy, like he's stuck.
I have one named Big Pussy.
Like,
I didn't name it. I bought it off OpenSea. It's a good horse.
Are the S's like dollar signs or something?
No, it's just put Pussy in Haku. There's like 20 Pussy horses.
And they let people do this?
Maybe it's Australia. Pussy means something different.
Yeah, probably just means like cat or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, awesome. Where can people contact you and catch your content at?
Hey, so a BotLady on Twitch, BotLady4 on Twitter, bot.lady on Instagram. I have a link tree, which basically has everything on there. I have a YouTube channel, been putting out content for 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe it's 6 now. I don't remember. It's a long time. And as far as like what you were saying about, what people think about you, I think a lot of people let that limit their potential. And I'm glad that you decided not to. And I have to say that I really think you ask thoughtful questions and I can tell you really care, and that's why I came on the show, and I hope you keep at it.
Yeah, thank you very much. And you give a lot of good beginner advice, and just the way that you look at Zed as a business. I just had to have you on so other people could learn from you. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I can't wait. I just want to grow the community and have fun. I want to stream and have fun together. Like that's what it's all about. And we have to support the content creators, you guys. Go out there, like their posts, like their videos, comment, tell them you love them, tell them to keep doing it, because trust me, when people don't like what we're doing, they have no problem telling us that.
Yeah, 100%, especially on social media, right?
You have to really develop a thick skin, take the feedback, and whatever feedback resonates with you and you want to change, do. And if it doesn't, don't, because you can't make everybody happy. And at the end of the day, if like you're doing things you feel good about, like that's what's really important. If you can sleep at night, because you're like, hey, I am making good content, I'm trying to help people. Like you can't help everybody, you just have to do your very best. You can't like take the world on, it's one person at a time. We make relationships and friendships, and grow really slowly. I actually like growing really slowly because I get to know the people um that come and hang out in my streams. So come check it out. Noon to 3 on Friday. Maybe I may be starting at 1 this Friday, and then Saturday nights I play poker and we do slots. And I'm going to start adding more Zed content starting in January.
Okay, I'm gonna have to hit you up for some poker tips because I'm not the best.
You know, um, I play a lot more slots than poker. My poker game's like a $3 buy-in. It's really fun. It's like a casual game. Like we just talk about. I like to talk shit. So don't come to my stream if you don't like that, because you probably will hate me because I will roast your ass. So I'm just saying, like right now.
It's all love. It's all love.
I mean, I just not. Yeah, well, no, not on the poker table. No, we just have fun for real. Like it's just fun. It's casual. It's not like super serious, high stakes. Like I like beginner players because they don't forget it's fun. You know.
Right, and that's what we're
Don't
here
get too
for. So
serious. Exactly.
thank
Well,
you
thank
so
you
much.
again. Thank you everybody in chat. Bye. You have a good day. Keep playing.
Bye, guys.
See you soon. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. You too. Keep at it. See you again soon. Bye.